Hardcore.
It's like a path.
That's my maze dice.
Yeah, it's a maze dice. It
Sweet.
gives you like
What is
intersections
this
to
one?
hit.
That's my prism dice for the cameras.
It's cool, is what it is. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's,
but how do you roll it?
extremely impractical because it takes for fucking ever to settle on a number.
That's
And
a
it's
lot
hard
of
to tell.
suspense. That's a lot of suspense.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell what number it is.
Especially if there's an incline.
That's a 4.
That's
That is a 4.
So we're not using this one.
No, that
Good.
seems.
All right, y'all.
It's so difficult.
I'm making all my rolls out here on the table for us. Using my sick ass.
Look at those pretty dice.
Dyson.
We are currently live.
Woo!
Welcome back, suckers.
Nerds.
Back at it
Wow.
again.
Yeah.
Christmas
Welcome
Dream.
to the finale of Dream Fun.
You fucking got the one guy who's watching right now. The one person who's watching right now. Rip in peace.
We love you, one watcher. Don't take it personal.
Take it personal.
Just
Type that he loves us too.
know that I meant it.
He's always watching.
Is he the robot watcher or the non-robot watcher?
Hold on, his IP is
who can
coming
say?
from
Inside
inside
the
the
house.
room.
Oh my God!
You know, nah. It's all
Is
show.
I watching us? But I never watch us.
Well, we need
I'm not even here right now.
How many dice are in this room? It's the robot test.
Mhm.
How many of these pictures have dice? How many of these camera feeds have dice?
Oof, dude,
I think
Alright,
none
everybody.
right now. Oh no, one does.
The time is 4:30.
Yeah,
Game concludes at 6. That's when you guys gotta get back.
Yep.
that's correct.
All right, we have an hour and a half to do this.
This is gonna be hell.
Welcome to Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Planescape campaign setting, sick ass game, Tales from the Infinite Staircase.
Oh, fuck.
Ooh.
That's what our cover looks like. It's the fastest, easiest way to catch you guys up. What we look like and what's going on. Now,
I
this
like
is
how it's still not.
It's
It's taking a
laggy,
very
yeah.
long time to
It's
show
laggy.
up.
That's me.
Yeah, there we
I-
go. There it
Let's
is.
see.
Lag.
Sorry about our lag. You
A
live.
lot. Yes, that's gonna screw with them. So you guys are playing the final and 8th game in this campaign. There are 8 sessions in this. This particular campaign is made up of 8 separate adventures. They can be played in any order. Each group before you all has decided the next part to play. So they're just played in whatever order your preceding players decided. I've had to kind of keep up ad hoc with that and develop the story as it went along. Now you don't got to know a whole lot about Planescape or D&D or any of that stuff. Get into this game. We're going to keep it very simple. We're going to be very fast about this. You are welcome to ask any questions at any time. There's only one person here at the table who's responsible for making sure we get this thing done in an hour and a half. That's me. The onus is on yours truly. Now before we begin getting into the game itself, we got to get to the most important thing, and that's our characters. There have been 6 recurring pre-generated characters that have been in each and every one of these sessions. Stick it right into the mustache.
Yeah, it's
Ooh.
a directional mic, so you gotta get on there.
Yeah,
Just
you gotta
get
get like
real
right in the front.
ASMR about it.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, just imagine that I'm looking you all in the eye, you know, being polite. So, I'm gonna assign you all a character the old-fashioned way. Each of you is gonna draw a single item out of this Crown Royale bag. Now, there are 6 characters, so you're only gonna have 4 players today. However, pay attention to the characters your compatriots are playing, or at least once in this game, you will change the character that you are playing.
Ooh.
That's right.
Hell yeah, let's do
This
it.
is just absolute chaos.
Right.
This
Big
is gonna be
theme
great.
of Planescape.
Can we make the characters static to one chair so that we have to like
Ooh.
swap rooms?
If you desire.
Yes. No,
Can be
no,
done.
actually, I don't want that.
Sounds
Sounds like logistically difficult.
Take
but
it back. I take it back.
Definitely worth.
Let's move
So-
We're
forward.
doing it.
For most games, your cleverness as a player, statistical strength, all that stuff is important. The talisman here in Planescape, however, is adaptability. That's why it's important to pay attention to what all characters can and do. can do and what your fellow players do with them. For a drop of a hat, you might suddenly be in charge of some character that you think is a doofus, or is dubious, or whatever.
Nice.
Favorite part.
I would say Grimshaw's fine. He's like,
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah.
Throw anything
This is
at
like
me, I'm
all
ready.
the doofus. Let's
Uh-huh.
Alright.
Go.
My
Jingle
favorite thing is
jangle.
strong.
There's no wrong character to draw, just like there are no wrong decisions in this game, just the decisions that you all make.
I like it.
Reach in here, young man.
Don't
you.
listen
I
to
will.
him. You can be wrong.
I
Pull out
plan to
a
be.
single
I like
item.
this thing. It is a die.
Nice.
It is a D6.
A D6 got in there by accident. Pull out the actual item.
I got a small glass vial with a cork.
Ooh.
Fantastic.
You know where you can put that cork?
Hey.
In the
Many
vial?
places.
Back in the vial. though.
Alright.
Ah, you chose incorrectly. How unfortunate.
Oh my god. Oh,
God.
because I'm a cog in the machine, I
I got
guess.
an arrow, I guess.
Ah, yes. The arrow means you are now Dungeon Master.
What?
And good luck.
Change places.
Pass.
Blast these items.
Tradesies.
Yeah, that one.
The
Ooh.
star.
I like these items. I don't
Yeah,
like
me too.
All right.
There's a poisoner,
Did I get the
steampunk,
David Bowie glass?
nose,
Yes.
archer.
So each of these items is correlated to a character. When I hand you your character sheets, don't open anything up. Keep them as they are for the time being until they're all passed out.
Cool.
This looks like it is just as much fun to play as it is to watch.
I know.
Like, we're pretty much just on par with our one watcher.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
More people should watch
The person
that shit.
watching
It's
is
cool.
actually Maggie, who a lot of you know, and was in one of the previous games.
She actually double dipped. She was in 2.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Maggie.
Hi,
Tell us what to
Maggie.
do. Help us.
Please.
Don't
Megan,
do that.
I'm
It's
so
cheating.
sorry if you have to hear any of my bits.
Can we give her a character sheet?
first time.
Have her like type in her shit.
Yes, Maggie, no one drew Aldebrand. You can play by post if you'd like.
Is she posting like over to no? Is she responding like, hey, no?
Thank you.
Keep it as it is.
Ooh. Nice.
Lupa the Tinker.
Oh, man.
Keep it as it is.
An arcane archer, that's fucking awesome. Although,
Oh,
Aw,
God.
you're a doctor. It's about time
Yeah.
you played someone reputable.
Alright.
he's played a doctor.
Yes.
An opium doctor.
I am an opium doctor.
Lore master.
So, before we open them up and examine the goodies within,
Oh, fuck.
know that each group before you has contributed to a sketch of these characters.
Aw,
Oh, boy.
Now this is going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's like,
That's
here
right.
comes
Without
Dave.
fail, every person in every group has said, "Oh no, I can't draw." Well, that's okay.
Well, I can. That's why that's the problem.
Yeah.
Even better. You're
The
gonna have
one
a
eye
little bit to
starts
work
spinning.
with. So, I ask you all to open these and flip to your back page where there's a backstory. We're gonna go around the horn, and each of you will read
Backstory?
your
Oh,
character's
dude.
backstory
Oh,
to
hang
us.
on. Back page of the packet. Alright.
Correct. I will start. Let's see how nervous you guys are.
This is not a doctor. That's not what a doctor
Amazing.
looks like.
That's what a doctor looks like, and I'm into it.
Welcome to the Outer Planes,
Oh, this
my
hurts.
friends. Alright. I will start with the group's old school fighter. His name is Aldebrand. Aldebrand's younger years were spent soldiering and campaigning in far-off lands. During that time, he saw and experienced much. He is more than familiar with the finer things a man encounters beyond the walls of his own home. Music, art, dance, drink, fashion, pleasurable company, but he is not beholden to any of these passions. On one hand, Aldebrand wishes he could express the chimeras of his own mind as effortlessly as artists and performers seem to do. But on the other hand, he views creative types as lacking in common sense and, ironically, worldly knowledge. Nonetheless, he's a fierce friend to his vibrant companions and a dangerous foe to any who would do them harm. He knows that if not protected by the strong, the beautiful things in this world would cease to exist.
Aw.
Yes.
That's nice.
So,
That's
this is
very
what it looks
nice.
like. This is the
Look at that.
amalgamation of all kinds of people.
Sure.
A man's
contributing,
man. I like
so.
the,
Yep.
the teardrop
Oh, yes.
tattoos.
Alright.
All right.
So we know he's hardcore.
Yes. He's your old school fighter. I'll brief you on him. He has no mechanics you need to memorize. Everything about him is intrinsic. He does more damage. He has stronger armor. He can attack a little bit better. Such was old-timey, old-school D&D fighters. They didn't have all these superpowers. They didn't have feats, rages, second winds, action surges, all that junk. You just had to be good, tactically sound. You as players are always the character's guardian angels. Your skill, your ingenuity, your ability to adapt is what matters more than anything. That being said, who's up first?
I do it. Alright. Tarif Bashar Abu Sadira. Once a ruthless merchant, Tarif abandoned the world of trade when his precious little star, Sadira, fell deathly ill. At her bedside, he eased her pain by reading stories until he could no longer keep his eyes open. He did this for weeks, leaving many physicians to believe that it was his care and attention that kept Sadira clinging to life. But eventually, his efforts to hold on to his precious daughter weren't enough, and she passed away. In his grief, or perhaps madness, Tarif continued to read stories and tell them to whoever who would listen, desperately believing that his words might reach Sadira wherever she is. In time, Tarif exhausted local scrolls and books of their tales and set out in search of new lore. After years of traveling and research, he became a veritable expert on history, both real and fictitious.
Alright.
It was very
So-
sad.
The way our
Sad.
Tarif character works, he's the game's lore master. Mechanically, he's very similar to a bard. He can bardically inspire each of you,
We ride again!
yes, to
Nice.
do something better, to attack better, to do an ability check better, anything a little bit better. However, it's not a simple mechanic. He doesn't just say, you're bardically inspired. No! Tarif must recall some tale, some story, some fib related to the current predicament that you all find yourselves in. And again, this is not just going to be Will saying, he recalls a story relevant to this. You're all bardically inspired. No, my friend, you got to put up or shut up.
There
You
you
got to bring your own quick story to the table.
You tell me I got to make up a story on the fly?
Yes!
Yes. Doesn't have to be
Well,
very long. Just needs a beginning, middle, and end. It can be as short as 3 sentences. But
I'll
it's
try my
Too bad
best.
you've never done that
Nope,
before.
I have no idea what
Just
you're talking
making
about.
up shit as you go
this
along.
is going to be rough.
Mm.
I'm already apprehensive.
Tarif is also the only player character in the game who has magic.
Yo!
Oh, fucking what?
Nice.
Next character, who is it?
I'll go.
Oh, man.
So I'm Lupo Fiddleswitch.
Is there any?
Hell yeah. By most accounts, Lupo is a master craftsman and tinkerer. To hear him tell it, however, he is a failure who only just begun on the road to mastery. Raised as the first son of the famed pipe carver Tudo Wetleaf Fiddleswitch, lofty expectations were heaped upon him early in life. Many had hoped Lupo would take to pipe carving, but the halfling found callings in a number of other works. Construction, clocks, blacksmithing, leatherwork, even a little magic. Lupo was bluntly told that he would never amount to anything unless he devoted himself to a singular craft. A mutt craftsman is the master of none, and your renown will never stretch beyond being the son of Wetleaf. Lupo is now a perennial journeyman, traveling the world to test and grow his skills, never quite content to call himself a master.
Sad but true.
Yeah.
Sounds like kind of a G, though. I like this guy.
So Lupo also has to bring a couple things to the table. By Lupo, I mean you, the player. Lupo can craft things, he can invent things. This is very simple. Anything that already exists, for example, a fork or a pair of glasses, you can make a roll for, based on the situation, based on the time, based on the amount or scope of thing you're trying to create. The dice will decide if you can create it.
Okay.
For things that do not yet exist, things that you would otherwise have to invent, the sky's the limit. You don't have to make any rolls for it.
Turn it up.
Here's how it works. You'll describe some item. You'll describe loosely how it works, what it looks like, etc. You'll also provide the benefit that this thing gives to the group or the situation. The Nye's Dungeon Master will concoct an equal and opposite bad quality. For example, you may create a sword that never misses, but it weighs 2,000 pounds. Conversely,
Very unwieldy. All
if you're
right.
bold, if you're gutsy, if you gamble it all, you can do this the opposite way. You as Lupo can invent something and describe the bad quality about it and what sucks about it. And it will then be incumbent upon me to provide the immense benefit that it gives you all. So,
Interesting.
correct.
I like this. All right.
Next player, give us the goods.
Alright. I'll go this time. Pull this down just a little bit.
So dramatic.
It's because no one can hear me. Being born into wealth is a burden too few understand. Luxury and decadence don't mean much when you breathe them all day, every day. What a bitch. 20 years was enough for Angel Keller. Without a word to his parents or servants, he up and left one night with only the fine silk doublet on his back. Angel sought the remote and tranquil comfort of the wilds, eventually falling in with all manner of escapist, aesthetic, and outlaw. Vowing to live with simple purpose, he took up the study of archery. His devotion evolved to the point that an entire day's study and exercise culminated in the firing of a single arrow. Angel eventually re-entered the civilized world and began treading a cyclical path toward perfection. Patient to a fault, he carefully feels out new obstacles before testing himself.
Wow. Who wrote these
Yeah.
characters? So, the way our sweet arcane archer works is this. We have a third sheet as a list of really cool trick shots and arrows that you can employ. Think green arrow, only you can use magic.
Nope.
True to the character's nature, you also benefit from being very patient.
Yeah.
If instead of rushing headlong into a fight, you hold an action and choose to just shoot or attack something or act after some time or action has passed, you get advantage.
Oh.
That's how that works. So we'll reward your patience as a player in keeping with the nature of the character.
That's easy.
Very nice.
Sweet.
Ilmani the Doctor.
Ilmani. Raised without kith or kin in a monastery, Ilmani grew up learning how to read, write, and tend to the suffering. In time, she also learned to love and revere a pantheon of benevolent deities. When Ilmani was conscripted into the outside world as a field cleric, however, her faith in the gods was challenged. What she witnessed nearly broke her. The violence and cruelty of war. Why did the gods not intervene? Why were her prayers and rituals so underwhelming in the face of such unholy carnage? Either the gods were not all-powerful, or they were not all benevolent. From then on, Ilmani doubled down on the practical work of medicine. Eventually, with many campaigns under her belt, she became skilled enough to bring even the most far-gone of victims back from the clutches of death. She has all but abandoned the gods she once loved. She openly disdains them, and yet still quietly hopes for their approval.
That is dark, dude.
Yeah,
Man.
That is
that's brutal.
bleak.
I like
Yeah.
her
The
so
fact
much
that
better
her
now.
song is midlife crisis.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Each of these characters
No more.
has a song associated with them.
Saved by Zero.
That's right. That's an amazing
Yeah.
song. Tarif, the song associated with you is
The stuff?
a
Yeah.
sick one-hit wonder by Shakespeare Sisters called Stay. If you were at home, and you can Google this right now and watch the music video,
Yeah.
prepare your butt.
Oh, boy.
Get
Oh
blasted.
my.
Yeah, right, like, oh
We're blasting
my.
butts
The
now.
song for
Okay.
Lupo or Tinker is Man's Road by America. You might recognize it from the soundtrack to The Last Unicorn. The song associated with Aldebaran, our old school fighter, is Simon and Garfunkel's The Boxer. Amazing tune. We have one more player character. This is our acrobat, Violetta.
I like this.
Yeah.
Her associated song is Pat Benatar's Invincible. Self-taught thief and cat burglar, Violetta avoided the fate so common to young street urchins when she discovered dance. She quickly learned that middle and even upper-class folk paid good money to see performers dance, tumble, and perform feats of daring do. With each act came new renown, more wealth, and a dangerous desire for more.
Aliens, apparently.
Yes. At first, Violetta convinced herself that escalating her performances to include features like knife juggling, animal handling, and blindfolded acrobatics were necessary to compete with professional troops. Now, nearly 3 decades later, and a professional entertainer herself, Violetta has come to terms with her appetite for thrills. She makes herself useful with adventuring groups so long as the work delivers on danger.
Ooh.
Yes. Just a little bit. Stand by on those drawings, you would-be artists.
Oh, okay.
Pencils down.
You got it.
Yeah. So, she is the group's resident adrenaline junkie.
There we go.
Normally I give the groups 7 minutes to doodle with these. We're pressed for time. I'm going to give you guys 6 minutes. And here are the rules. You can erase up to half of what is drawn before you, and you can draw, add, amend, whatever you want. The sky's the limit to that, but you have to leave at least half of what is on there.
Alright.
Cool.
Alright.
While I put this time here on the clock, I will begin a recap for you and our TV audience.
Good.
Thank you.
Consummate professionalism over here. I appreciate it.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, guys. The Sanford and Son theme is it's among the worst songs.
Dude, what
to
just
have
happened to our
stuck in your
twist
head.
stream? Our twist stream just disappeared.
They heard the Sanford and Sons and they're like, nope,
Shut
time
it
to
down.
go.
Nope, nope, nope.
Who drew on this last? It's just like dug into this paper.
This is
All right. So many months ago, your old friend and complete scoundrel, Jorvel, suddenly re-entered your life, asking for help with a small quest. Now, Jorvel had been a member of your party some years ago. He was a young farm boy. You all were the first adventurers that he had ever fallen in with. And then one day he died. He died no normal death after you all encountered the quintessential definitive dragon in a dungeon of some kind, having completed your quest to take something, save something. It doesn't matter, it's immaterial. You all were making your escape, but Jorvel, young, wide-eyed, greedy, doubled back. He thought he had time enough to take a little more loot from the dragon and be on his way. Well, chased him back, to try to goad him, to let it go. He saw the young man snatched up in the talons of a dragon, and cast into a chasm. A chasm so dark, so endless, no effort was ever made to go find him. Yes.
It's rough, bud.
That's right, Scrub. That's right. So you saw the young man pierced through the torso, gigantic, sharp dragon claws, and then thrown into a chasm. Now, nothing is ever sure in a world where magic exists, but you guys were about 110% sure that this kid died.
About 110, huh?
About 110.
Whoops.
So, Droll runs back into you. He appears to be in a hurry. He also appears to still have a huge gaping wound in his gut. It's wide open, it's not healed, but it's also not bleeding. The quest that he gives you guys introduces you to a place called the Infinite Staircase, the namesake of this campaign. It's an extra-dimensional space where infinite portals to infinite planes of existence can be accessed along a never-ending staircase that unfurls in all directions. The Guardians of the Infinite Staircase, seeing your prowess, eventually enlisted you all to aid in a larger, more pressing mission than the one Jorvel tasked you with. An atmosphere, a feeling, a condition, an otherwise intangible sensation was beginning to spread throughout the infinite planes. The Guardians described this phenomenon to you as best they could. That is, as best as they could to mortals. They described it as a thing like unto an iron shadow. So, by exploring various planes touched by this iron shadow, you observed firsthand that it is like an unseen cloud or miasma that drains all spark of motivation, original thought, and creative expression from living things. The demonstrable consequences are that entire civilizations are left apathetic, defenseless, and unable to stave off rot, decay, and invasion. A breed of devils known as chitons, more popularly known as chain devils, were among the first, apparently, to detect the presence of this iron shadow. A chiton scholar saw the Iron Shadow as a means to an end. The same end that all wars and diplomacy seek to achieve. The suppression of wills. Thus, a faction of Chitons began attempting to cultivate and spread this Iron Shadow across the plains. They believed it would bring about this true existence. So, theoretical cure to the Iron Shadow exists in the form of an experimental serum known to you as Navimas. Navimas acts as a catalyst in the atmosphere that restores the ebb and flow of order and chaos themselves. The cure is difficult to use and will not have a consistent, reliable effect without guidance from a book called Ever-Changing Order. Back to Droll briefly. You eventually learned how he's still alive, on his way to whatever afterlife he was going to. After dying, he begged and pleaded to live. A chain devil, a chiton, heard his plea, heard his cry. Saw an easy soul. Made him a deal. Said, sure, I'll let you live for a little while longer. In return for your soul. Droble said, sure, but I'm not greedy. Don't want to live forever. Just want to return to the tavern of the Silver Eel. Fill my gut with ale. Pencils down, students. Wow. All right, these are the final iterations. These are the final iterations of those characters. I've been keeping track, and I've been taking photographs of each iteration as they go along. There's a montage in the works.
Nice.
I like it.
So back to Jorble. The deal he made with the devil was, doesn't want to live forever. Just let me have time in the tavern. Let me drink my fill and fill my belly one last time with ale. The devil said, sure. It's easy soul. Jorble goes to the tavern, starts drinking ale, keeps drinking. It just starts pouring out of his huge, gaping wound in his stomach. So no matter how much he drank, he would never be fooled. And in this way, he successfully tricked these devils. They began hounding him, pursuing him. He is ever wary, ever alert, ever anxious that they will find him and make good on their contract by sewing his gut back up and forcing ale down his gullet.
That's creepy.
Yes.
I get that.
That's the
though.
nature of his
Seems
deed.
like a
Yeah.
like a pretty legitimate fear to have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mixed bag there.
So eventually, Droll will caught back up with you after you all had explored several planes of existence, learn more about this Iron Shadow. He finds you. He still seems very wary, always looking over his shoulder. Even the slight rattling of chains causes him to freak out. 1 or 2 drops of pee come out every time.
Good.
It's rough, buddy.
So, after a long campaign across numerous planes, you finally have the Navimas in hand. That's our catalyst. Actually, I got some cards here that I'll put on my Dungeon Master screen so that you can see what it is I'm talking about.
Nice.
We've got Jorvel, Titans the Chain Devils, the Navimas, and this book, Ever-Changing Order.
Nice.
At any rate, you had the Navimas in hand. You have one final lead to the location of this book. A place described as a mirrored library near an impossibly high, narrow mountain. Unfortunately, Jorvel has slipped away with the Navimas and is apparently headed in the direction of that mirrored library. What he hopes to accomplish by beating you all there and finding the book first is heretofore unclear.
Bullshit.
Mm-hmm. All right. Before we launch into stuff, are there any questions, any clarifications you all have? Again, there are no dumb questions, just the questions that you all ask.
Do we all
Sounds like
know
a
each
pickle,
other?
but
Oh, you all know each
Okay.
other for a
Just-
very, very
okay,
long time.
just making sure. I
You're
was-
good buds. You
We all
work
drank a
together.
lot, which is why we don't really remember it that well at the moment.
Yes.
Opium
Can
from
you,
the other
uh,
game snuck into this one.
Yep.
Go over all of that one more time.
Yes, no problem.
No, I'm good.
One quick note on Ilmani. While in hell, while dealing with some chain devils, she had occasion to overhear someone's diatribe about this ultimate truth and the suppression of wills. Didn't seem completely unwise to her. So her alignment has changed from chaotic good to true neutral. at this point.
Interesting.
That's on her character
Ah.
sheet.
Good to know.
That is
It's almost like
cool.
she's having some sort of midlife crisis.
Yeah. What do you know?
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that does explain the sex, drugs, and chaos magic thing that she's wearing.
Oh,
What?
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it started with drugs and magic, and I wrote sex because, you know, sex, drugs, and chaos magic.
Okay.
Sure.
So, yeah, that's where we're at.
All right.
Alright, so.
Guys, the time's now 5 o'clock. We have 1 hour. We were right on schedule.
Good.
Excellent.
That's what I like.
Excellent.
All right. Any further questions, comments, threats?
I think we're
Start it
good.
up.
Pops
let's-
on your house. Let's continue.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So you guys are in a mad dash through a portal to a place described to you as the unclimbable mountain in search of ever-changing order in some kind of mysterious, esoteric, ancient, mirrored library. The hike will take you about half a day. The infinite staircase is composed of all manner of stairs, stone, wood, steel, skull, all kinds of matter you've never seen before in your life. It doesn't just go in one direction, it branches and branches and branches infinitely, as the name implies, from platform to platform, not always straight up. Staircase goes left, right, upside down sometimes. You might have occasion to be walking up one direction and there are people walking beneath you going the opposite direction. It's MC Escher on acid.
Alright.
Nice.
So you eventually find yourselves going towards the portal leading to this place. There's no cardinal directions here, so all the directions you ever receive have to do with landmarks. You've never been led astray. This is no different. You eventually come to a portal. Appears to be made of clay of some kind. Once in a while you come to a portal and you'll feel like something. It'll be hot or cold or windy or give you an odd sensation. There's nothing coming from this particular portal. You can't really see anything through it. It's just a warbling wall of light. Unless there are any things you want to do. If you want to take a nap.
Does this seem out of the ordinary as far as portals go?
No, you've seen plenty of portals that are mundane looking. But this is your last chance if you want to stop and do anything.
Gotcha.
The only place you guys could ask questions or resupply if you had anything like that you wanted to do is a massive platform full of hippies and adventurers called the Planewalkers Guild. They're not heroic, they're thrill seekers. They're people who would just be head to toe in the latest North Face stuff. I'm aware I'm wearing this. Alright. So they're not heroes, that's why they were recruited to help with this Iron Shadow problem.
Are these like stats like solid from the last time? Because if they are, I need to fucking rest. I'm down to 16 hit points.
Yes.
Ooh,
Excellent
Apparently
question.
I got fucked up last time.
If you were down to hit
Nice.
points and you want to recover, you can roll up to the max amount of hit die you
52.
have left.
I have 3.
You may
On a
roll
stick.
up to 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna just roll with
You
mine.
guys.
Yeah.
There's no napping off any mistakes in this game. You can't, after some kind of fight, be like, all right, y'all, we're taking a long rest.
Wait, this is
I'm gonna
the
heal this back
last
up.
game that. This
Yep.
is the last. Wait, why would I just roll then?
Because you might need it later.
It's on you. Again,
Yes.
it's a great question, but there are no wrong decisions, just whatever decision it is you make.
Also, we're playing on hard mode.
14.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, fine.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
this will be very difficult very quickly for you all.
Nice.
Fantastic.
1, 2.
Ow.
So wait, I only speak Elvish and Dwarvish?
Yeah.
No comment.
Common is so common, I don't bother writing.
I like that.
That's fair enough.
Good.
Like everyone fucking knows common.
Yep. All right.
There's
I've had people go the other way on that one. Is
There's
why I
eye
asked.
color on there, but I didn't explicitly write that your character has eyes.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't say that we have both of them, I suppose.
Yeah.
Doesn't say you have proficiency in breathing. Huh.
Anyway,
Curious.
That
Moving
is
on.
actually one of my favorite D&D stories. When there's a bunch of engineers playing D&D with a friend of mine who was running the game,
Mhm.
and they were like, all right, let's cross this rope bridge. And then one of them was like, wait, how long did you say the rope bridge was? He was like, I don't know. He made up a number. He's like, what rope is it made of? How thick is it? And he was like,
Oh,
I don't know, this
no.
thick. And then they all stopped the game and did math for like 20 minutes. I'm like, yeah, the rope bridge would have broken. We're all dead. They started writing new characters.
man.
That's some fine role playing.
Yeah.
That is
Fine
some
roll.
That's the
bullshit.
good stuff.
That is the quintessence of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, come on.
All right.
nitpicking.
Anything else you guys want to cover before we go along?
I have
correct.
Dorval's contract in my pocket, apparently.
Yeah, you found that in the book and pulled it out for it. That's what led you to believe, oh shit, he made some kind of deal with the devil. You later
Gotcha.
spoke to him in person. He was like, yeah,
Wait,
I got him.
Totally
I got
get
him.
it, yeah.
Wait, you had a book full of devil deals and you just didn't.
I
I
only
would
do
throw that in the
one
fire.
name.
You're like, suck it, devils. You're free.
You all certainly tried. It's a very, very magic book.
Okay.
Yes.
It's also conveniently magic. Whatever page you open to in this huge tome becomes the middle of the book.
Gotcha.
That-
So it's
yeah.
always equally weighted.
That's nice.
It
Nice,
makes
like they
admin
do in
jobs.
cartoons,
Yeah,
yeah.
it makes
So it's like
administrative work in hell just so much easier.
Infernal
Oh, gee.
iPad. Got it.
Correct.
Nice.
All right. Unless you guys have anything else to do, you walk right on through that portal. You are all dead.
Cool.
Oldest trick in the book.
Nice.
Railroad your characters
It's been
at
a
the
pleasure.
beginning of the game,
Yeah.
and they're dead.
Before we die, can we
R.I.P.
fight 1d8 goblins?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, you may. You fight 1d8 Jorvals.
No.
Well, yeah, we fought Jorval.
1d8
Alright.
Jorvals.
So you all walk through this portal. You've been through several portals now in your young careers as planewalkers. This one feels no different. Flash of light, abrupt temperature change. Your hair and clothing items move and shift with gravity momentarily, and then all of a sudden you find yourselves in an entirely new plane of existence. Yeah, I've never said these terms before. Plane of existence.
Ooh. Nice.
This time you find yourselves in the middle of a literal plane. Plain.
Interesting.
It's a large,
Okay.
vast, dusty plain. Looking behind you, the portal you walk through, the threshold of a door, it's just as bare and mundane as the one you walk through. All around it, you can't see anything. But looking back away from it, you also don't see a whole lot of anything. It's very dusty. The dust here is all manner of mundane, sad, morose colors. The sky is an odd shade of pink and blue, almost like cotton candy, but not the happy kind of shades of pink and blue. You notice two big features. Way off in the distance, there's a huge spike-looking thing. It's just going up and up and up and up, and you can't see the top of it, where you would expect to eventually see clouds obscuring the top. There are none. It just appears to be beyond your ability to see the end of. You walk forward a little bit or sideways, the view doesn't change a whole lot. All around you, you can see the crumbling remains of what might have been roads, buildings. You also, as you begin spreading out and looking at stuff, notice odd mounds of what look like dirt or sand. Eventually you spy in the distance a single structure that appears to be in good condition. So, group, what do you all do?
I want to dig in some of those mounds.
You are dead. Alright, you start digging in the mound. And at first, the sand just starts moving away from your hand. And eventually, it doesn't, because you hit the ground. You found nothing in this sand or dirt or whatever it is. But you've never felt anything like it. The texture, the weight, the smell even. It's very odd. There's no consistent color in this. Actually,
It's people.
Aw. Damn it.
yes. If you all do me a solid, do me a kindness, can you please put your name cards up real quick so I can keep track. Yes, so Ilmani, in a matter of moments with closer inspection, touching, smelling, perhaps even a bit of tasting if you're bold and brave enough,
I was.
you realize these are in fact
I'll put anything on.
the core components
Oof,
of
yeah.
once living things.
Yep.
Aw. Soylent Green,
Was it delicious?
man.
And that's
It
how we
was-
got a cannibal doctor.
I'll tell you this. It was bitter going down, but sweet in memory.
Ooh.
Life itself.
Oh man.
That's
gross.
That's pretty good.
There you
Alright.
go. Yes. So these type of findings are consistent with what you guys have experienced with the Iron Shadow. It could also be any number of naturally occurring events. You know that living things are pretty often bad to each other and themselves. Wars happen, plagues happen, whatever else happens. But otherwise, there are no clues as to what did this, or how it was accomplished, or how recent it happened.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys do?
We should probably get moving, but before we dig around too much in the dirt, maybe check for tracks in the dust. See which way our friend Jorvel went.
Fantastic idea. Here's how this works. In conventional D&D, people roll dice for investigation. See, I find a thing. Well, this game, at least with me, you gotta ante something up. For example, if you're in a deep, dark, dank dungeon full of traps, and you come to a suspicious corridor, and you want to check for traps, you don't just roll that cool D20, you ante something up. You describe to me how it is you do it. It'd be something as simple as I run my hand along the cracks in the wall to see if there's any wind. I take my buddy's wine skin, I begin pouring it on the ground to see if the wine trickles anywhere to indicate false stones or mechanisms, something like that. So, if you're doing it alone, you're welcome to describe to me how Tarif, the wrinkled old prune of a man, looks for tracks. If you all are doing this together, please let me know how it is you search for tracks.
I mean, I can at least whip up some sort of binoculars. I mean, let's just keep it basic for now. Yeah, let's see what we can see without having to move anywhere, because clearly something has gone on.
All right. The quality of those binoculars are going to tell us different things. So go ahead and roll me 1d20.
All right.
You can add your dexterity and that cool crafting modifier on there. I'll let you know what you can see with them.
Nice. Strong start.
You've
Well,
invented a microscope.
fuck me. Yeah, you sure did.
So, all
You
this trick in
invented
the book.
glasses.
Yes, you invented the binoculars that have like blades when you try to focus on the eyes.
Oh
So-
God. Oh no.
No, so
Why would you do that?
Yeah, you put binoculars on, and they're not helping you make out any further details in the dust and the sand. You're not really getting a clear view of that building off in the distance, and you're sure as crap not getting a better view of the top of that spire.
Yeah,
way off in the
definitely
distance.
fucking not. What do you
So,
think?
Yeah, not your best work, but some of the time it just comes down to the materials you have on hand. Just wasn't.
Apparently, I lost half my gear, so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crouch down near the door and look to see if I can just see any of Jorvel's footprints in the dust. I mean, I imagine if I was out in the
Smart.
wilderness for a while, I'd probably have some semblance of tracking ability.
Yes,
Yeah.
you absolutely do. Very wise, very smart, knowing that he absolutely had to come this way from the threshold.
Ooh.
This is me giving you experience points.
Nice.
Take your fingers and do this.
Good. There we go.
Take 42 experience points.
Oh shit!
Ooh, shit.
That sounds like a
I don't know
lot.
where that goes.
Oh yeah, there's no leveling in this game. But I'm gonna give you experience points. And take some
It's
away.
like gold stars.
Yeah.
Gold stars are important.
That's right.
Now, if this came with stickers.
All right.
man.
Mm-hmm.
I actually
do
did
that.
that
Go
once.
ahead
I
and
had
roll your
to do
investigation
that.
check, please.
But,
Where's the
yeah, I'm
investigation?
highly motivated by
Fair enough, that could work.
stickers.
Okay. So apparently I'm not very bright. That's good to know. 7.
Oh no.
So you really only notice a clutter of footprints, and
Probably
it takes you a
ours.
moment. You're excited at first. Oh, there's a bunch of tracks. Oh, these are most of ours. You keep your findings to yourself. All right. What do you
Yes,
guys-
well, good work, everyone.
We did
We
so
really
good.
got to the bottom of the dust mystery.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
know that Jorvel is going up the mountain to get to the
He's probably
ever-changing order book before we do, so let's go there.
So again, you have this spire, and you have a building off in the distance. Those are your only two landmarks.
Are they like in the same direction or like opposite directions?
The spire is at 12 o'clock. The building that's in good condition is like maybe 10.
Okay, so it's not
Let's
too
go to the
far
building.
off.
Yeah, let's go check out that building.
All right.
Why not?
Can we tell which is closer?
The building appears.
Okay, I'll
In fact, as you start making your way towards the building, you expect in the back of your mind, you're not looking forward specifically for that spire to come a little bit closer, but it never seems to get closer to you.
That feels right.
And
Feels right.
yeah.
Feels good.
Just a sigh of disappointment.
So now that we're farther away from our own tracks and perhaps going towards other tracks that we might be able to see, I'm just going to sort of cast my eyes over the front, see if I can see anything other, than vast trackless wastes of dust.
Yeah. And you got to roll for it. You see a single pair of tracks.
Nice.
It's very obvious. It's going right towards that building.
Towards the building.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Real quick, you guys didn't explicitly say you checked your boots for poisonous snakes before we started the game.
That is
Oh,
true.
so we're all
So we're all dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
My boots were already on. Were
I
they
was
there
gonna
the
say,
whole time?
Yeah, did we
No,
like,
your feet
explicitly
are
say-
snakes.
Sorry,
That
guys.
big.
we're-
My character is actually a pile of snakes and clothes.
All this
So
trick.
you
I've
immune?
been playing this game all day.
Yes, we're playing.
This is snakes on a plane.
Yes.
God damn you!
Oh,
That was
And
good.
that's the scream.
Oh, lose 68 experience points. Oh, wow. Oh,
Alright.
absolutely amazing.
You gotta tell me when you're making terrible jokes like that. You just obliterated like 5 people's speakers.
Yep.
Nice. That's how we roll.
I'm proud of myself for that one.
We went from like
It
4
just-
viewers up to 5, and then we were all like, ah! And we went back down to 4.
Uh-huh.
The guy was like,
I blame
nah.
them not at
Oh,
all.
no. He's like, I've been making that joke behind this screen for minutes. All right. So the trek towards this building is very dry, very dusty, very boring. As you close in, you see the building surprisingly small looking from the outside. However, it's in very good condition. The tracks absolutely 100% lead the big set of double doors leading into it. What do you guys do?
Let's see, how many times? 3 per day? Dope. While we were walking over there, I will tell you a story.
Now you can tell the whole group. Anyone who hear a tale that you tell in the party will benefit from it.
Great.
Nice.
That reminds me, I'm so sorry I didn't get to Almani stuff. Very similar group effects. With sick medical science, you can use a potion to heal an entire group by vaporizing it.
Ooh.
However,
Mm,
it's not exclusive to your party
headbanging.
members. If you guys are in some kind of tussle with someone unfriendly and they inhale the old heal poke, they benefit from it too.
Nice.
Similarly, unlike most clerics and medical professionals in the world of D&D, you can mix and double down on potions.
Ooh.
Meaning you could administer 2 potions at once where you otherwise would only be able to do 1 per turn. In real world terms, this is like chugging 2 5-hour energies at once. Or in your case, forcing a client to drink 2 5-hour energies at once. They can do it. It can physically be done. They might have a heart murmur, so they'll have to make some kind of constitution check if and when you do that.
call
Nice.
that used to call that the 10-hour energy.
I like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Yes. Yes. All right. So, what's your tale?
Yeah.
Situations like these
Hardtack mini.
reminds me of a story. There was once a guardian on the border of a kingdom. I'm making a fast story because we're going to be at this house soon. There was a merchant who would come with a donkey, and its back was full of straw. He just was a straw merchant. And the guard looked at him once and immediately knew that he was smuggling something. So he searched the donkey. He searched all the straw everywhere, in the air and on the ground. Didn't find anything. This continued. The merchant returned year after year, and he would search the straw every time. Straw everywhere, on the air, on the ground. He would search the donkey. He never found anything. Eventually, he retired. He saw the merchant, who had also retired to a palatial estate, and he asked him, "Now that I'm no longer an agent of the law, were you smuggling something?" And the merchant smiled and said, "Yes." And he said, "What were you smuggling?" And the merchant said, "Donkeys."
Aw.
Things can be more or less complicated than they might appear. Just keep a sharp eye out.
I will
All
not.
right.
Fantastic
I
wisdom.
like that.
So, your heart sore a little bit, despite the raven nature of your
You don't like my evil voice, GM?
Alright. I love it. So each of you now has an extra D8 to add to any throw. This is good for approximately 10 minutes.
This inspiration.
Yes, you are. No, it's not inspiration. Don't mark that. Get the hell away from that box.
Yeah, I wouldn't dare.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just door.
I just.
Shut up, Ian.
So the story concludes right at about the time you hit the stairs of this big old building. Come to a stop, kind of sheltered from the wind that's been blowing dust and sand around, and you have a moment to think, hear your own thoughts. Hear something inside. It's very low at first. It's very steady, very consistent. Can't quite make out what it is. One of the 2 large wooden double doors in front of you is open.
I'm not gonna go in. but
Go
I'd
in,
like
you
to
say?
Peer
Well,
through the door. No, God, no, 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 no.
Are there any other points
Yeah, there,
of
like-
ingress?
The building appears so small that would take you like about a minute to just jog around and check the whole place. And if you do that, you don't see any windows and you don't see any other doors.
Alright. So, is it just us? Are the other 2 party members here?
Yeah, they're with you.
Okay.
In fact, they may suddenly become you.
That's great. Right.
Um,
Yay.
does this building appear arsonable?
Oh my god.
To the best
You're
of
not
your-
a
Already
chaotic evil
starting
doctor.
fires?
You're not a chaotic evil
It
doctor.
appears to be some kind of stone, and if you had to guess, or some kind of metal structure as well in there,
Okay.
keeping it up. It's not perfectly upright. It has all
Mhm.
kinds of weird wobbling motifs.
Okay.
You guys at this point in your life on the plains have seen all kinds of bizarre stylings for clothing, for costuming, for hair, makeup, buildings, traditional art. You've seen so much stuff that you're unfazed when you see weird structures
Mhm.
like this.
Okay.
You've already given up trying to understand and appreciate some of the weird things that you've seen.
Until we got
They're
inside.
A little bit of an old fellow, so I have an ear trumpet on me. If anyone would like to use the ear trumpet to be able to like listen in through the door, betcha I can.
I happen to be.
You're old, but you're young for half.
This is true.
So that thing's old. That's an old primitive
Yeah,
man.
you are a crusty
All your
old
wrinkles
man.
are full of dust and sand. at
Your
this point in
wrinkles
time.
have
I'm like
wrinkles.
130
Yeah.
years old.
Twitch
Y'all got
chat is
nothing
saying
on
that I'm
me.
going to betray you. So
Nice.
So I
Very
happen to
nice.
be good at perception.
Yeah.
I'm sharp of eye and ear. So I would say that if you could fashion an ear trumpet such that I might listen at the door with.
I would love to make that happen for you.
You
Yeah.
have a piece of horn that you could just use in your trumpet.
I will do that.
You just have this in your
Yeah.
bag of scraps.
I
All right,
like
go
it.
ahead.
Yeah.
Roll a perception check for me.
I will make that effort. Can I steal your die?
Yes.
I would say
you want a
I got
D20?
some.
I got some.
Nope. I got a 22
Oh, that's the
in
highest
total.
roll.
Nice.
Swish.
So, the addition of your horn, you can make out two very distinct sounds. They're both consistent. One seems to be a pattern. It's a dripping sound. It's just dripping very slowly. The second sound is the very gentle jangling of a chain.
Uh-oh.
What do you cool cats do? It's never too late to wuss out, to go back to the infinite staircase, tell the guardians, yeah, we did the thing. We finished the mission.
Yeah,
just,
we're good.
just
We
beat
did
out.
We don't have Dorval or the book, but
No,
we
we-
destroyed it all.
We finished the
didn't-
task. We did the thing. If there are no follow-up questions, we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our exit interview will be brief, and I will be drunk for all of it.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
All right, what do you guys do?
All right.
Can we create a distraction? Maybe get somebody
I mean-
out here before we try and go in there?
I mean, we don't. I would say we don't
There's
even
only
know.
one way in.
You all got all
Yeah.
kinds of flashbangs, assault rifles, night vision goggles.
Oh yeah!
Yeah.
What the?
We're the SWAT
Do we
team.
have any
Yes!
insects?
You don't have any bugs,
Breaching
no.
charge.
Okay.
I'm gonna, you know, what, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna creak the door open a little bit more,
Alright.
and then I'm gonna take my shoe off and throw it in the room.
All right.
Yo, cube
We
size.
have-
As you all watch this in suspense, as you're all holding your breaths, the shoe, the elven shoe flies up in the air. Seems to just hang there, Michael Jordan style, momentarily, like gravity is completely forgotten. Eventually lands with a gentle clatter. The room stays exactly how it was. Nothing happens. Okay.
All right.
Is the dripping and the clanking though? Can we still hear it?
Yep, they haven't
Okay.
changed.
All right. So
So
whatever
I-
it was either knows we're there and is just watching us.
Maybe it's
And-
mechanical.
Or yeah, exactly. Or it's not actually a living creature. So I thought we'd just go in.
Yeah, it seems right.
Seems fine.
Yep.
Click, click, boom.
Yeah.
Alright, welcome back to New Metal D&D. So, you guys bravely enter this room. Nothing attacks you, nothing happens. But, you are suddenly overwhelmed with the distinct smell of old books. As your eyes adjust to the light.
Turn
mirror
gets very
library.
horny all of a sudden.
Oh man.
If you're just tuning in, welcome back to Books and Boners. So all around you, hallways and stacks of books, and very large mirrors. Mirrors as large as doorways themselves.
Oh crap.
You can pick out the distinct sounds of the dripping and the chain coming from the same place. A room a little bit off to your left, probably less than 50 feet away from where you are. Inside, the interior looks a lot bigger than the outside. You're not sure if that's something to do with the actual space inside or the mirrors themselves. Inside each mirror, you all see more and more stacks of books and more mirrors, but they're not reflections of the room that you're currently in.
Oh.
I mean, we do mess around with planes. Maybe it shouldn't be that much of a surprise.
It's not a surprise. It's eerie. Is what it is. Yeah.
Well.
I vote that. Well,
I'm
we're
gonna walk up
on
to a mirror
guard.
and poke my finger through it.
Your
see
finger
what
goes right
happens.
through it.
Alright.
Ooh.
So that ruins my first
Ooh.
option, which was going to be break the mirrors.
Yes.
Um,
As
I
you
think-
approach the mirror, you can kind of see your own reflection, but it's not full and opaque. It's transparent.
Mhm.
You can see your reflection kind of superimposed onto this room behind
Mhm.
it. You can walk right through it,
Mhm.
but you still get the benefit of the mirror. So if you just want
Yeah.
to do your hair, you can.
Nice.
That is what I want, actually.
Hair
Yeah,
is
Lupo
done.
also freshens
I am
up a
bald.
little bit.
We're gonna die. Let's leave beautiful corpses behind.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Grooms the beard, tries to collect the what's left of the eyebrows
We
together.
need to investigate the rooms, including the noise, before we relax at all.
Is anybody stealthy?
Seems right.
One of our party members is.
No, none of you is.
I mean,
Well, the
It's our
stealthiest person-
acrobat.
I'm
would
kinda
be-
She's the
stealthy.
stealthiest, but she's not like a trope of a thief who's a kleptomaniac. She
I'm
could
kind
do
of
it.
stealthy.
Um,
I mean, I've plus
You
3
can-
dexterity.
yeah. Here's how those other players will work. You can task them with something that isn't like outright suicidal,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you what happens. So if you want Violetta, our acrobat, to scout ahead of you, you can ask her to do this, and she'll absolutely do it.
Stick to
So
the shadows and
here's what I'm thinking is we should go look at the door of where the dripping is coming from.
Yes.
Just
So-
so
right
what's
now,
going
that
on
could be
there?
the most active noise.
As you try to inspect where the noise is coming from, it appears like it's coming from an open room. There's no door leading to it. There's like a threshold of a door,
Like a door frame.
like a door frame, that you're positive isn't a mirror. You can't see any reflections, and it looks to be leading into a conventional style room.
Okay.
But
I
you can't
think-
see all of it from where you are. But you can distinctly hear that dripping and that chain coming from within that room.
Alright, we need to check that out first. Obviously, that's like the only spot of motion that we know of.
Sounds right to me.
yeah. All right, let's do it.
Yep.
You are dead. Wow. Sorry for just tuning in. They walked
That's-
into a room
And died.
they're dead. All right.
No.
So you all walk into the room. You see your good old friend, Jorvel. But he's not himself. He's up off the ground several feet, strung up in chains, tied and bound to several stacks of books throughout the room. He's swaying a little bit, and his swaying is consistent with that sound of rattling chains that you all have heard. The dripping sound you quickly deduce is coming from his now open, bleeding wound in his gun. It's dripping down the tile floor beneath him. You've never seen this wound bleed. He's bleeding from it now.
His contract's been fulfilled.
And yet, this hole is still open.
Uh-oh.
They didn't sew it back up, so something different has happened. He's back to being immortal. Amortal.
Yeah.
Saying amortal and immortal are
2 different things.
Yeah.
two vastly different things.
Quite the opposite.
Don't take gambles on those. Be sure you know what your contracts say about that. He appears to hear you guys come in.
What happened, bud? You look rough.
It's okay.
He opens his eyes. He's very pale. You guys made it, he says to you. He looks over to the doctor. Monty. He begins to cough. Am I going to make it? He laughs.
Realistically, yes. You have no injuries. Let me tend to your lack of injuries. And I'll sort of hop up there and start poking at his organs.
So, from what you can tell, this poor kid is far beyond saving.
Mm-hmm.
Well beyond even your immense ability. Probably beyond the ability of any gods to heal.
Yeah,
Just kinda
gods
thinks
suck.
it's-
Yeah.
You do notice, though, on closer inspection,
Why,
that his
God,
big
why?
gaping wound is full of lengths of chain that have been stuffed down in him to weigh him down.
Brody.
The chains that he's hanging from.
Who did this to you?
Yeah.
Who do you think? He asks. Those bitter old chain devils.
Yeah, they really don't like you.
They really like
It's almost like
chains, though.
they really
They
do.
really like chains.
And they want you to like chains too. That's why they stuffed you full of them.
Well,
Why didn't they sew your wound back up? If that was the contract.
well, I haven't been entirely honest with you the past couple of weeks, he says.
Shock.
Surprise.
He pauses for a moment. He looks deep in thought. Then it occurs to you for half a second that, oh, did he breathe his last? But then he starts up again. I gave him the Navi Moss, he says to you at last. And I gave him that book, Ever-Changing Order. For a single item, an infinite library full of mirrors, it was actually not too hard to find. It was in this room, right out the gate. Devil's finally caught up to me, he says to you. About a couple weeks ago, before I rejoined you. They wanted to sew my gut back up and forced me to fulfill that soul contract. But I made them another deal. I knew they wanted to perpetuate this Iron Shadow thing, so I told them about you guys. I told them you were trying to find a cure. The second deal was simple enough. I could get that cure away from you, that Navi Mosku and the book, and turn it over to them. They would void my contract, and they would restore me to exactly how I was before I originally died a couple years ago.
Aw, bud.
I-
Specifics, bud.
The chains kind of like rattle a little bit, and he appears to be trying to shrug and laugh at himself. I thought I could trick him. I mean, I did it one time. I figured I was on a streak. But the luck finally ran out, I guess. I thought once I had the book, I could quickly follow its instructions and use the Navi Moss to permanently destroy the Iron Shadow. Well, first of all, that book is a lot longer than I thought. It's not exactly an instruction scroll. Secondly, they closed in on me before I could make the attempt. I tried to explain to them that I just wanted to prove the value of having the book and the Navi Moss together, but for whatever reason, they didn't seem inclined to trust me. So they took them both.
For whatever reason.
Mhm. They voided my original contract, and they made good on their end of the deal. So here I am. He tries to smile at you guys. So here I am, restored to exactly how I was moments before I originally died those years ago, bleeding from this massive gaping wound. It's almost like they wanted to dupe me with a literal interpretation of a bargain. I don't know where they get such an idea. He coughs a couple more times. The chains continue to rattle. It's another long pause before he speaks again. He was pale when you walked in. He's even paler now. I do have some good news for you, though, he says. They're still trapped here in the library. The devils. Look back at the threshold you guys walked through. You guys look back over your shoulder at that door frame. You'll notice along the walls to either side are all kinds of mirrors leading off into these other rooms. But the mirrors are similar in shape and size to the threshold. Look back at the threshold you guys walked in. Notice those mirrors all along the walls to either side? Those are portals to other rooms in this library. And their glee or excitement or whatever it is in Nine that devils feel, they waltz right through one of them by accident. Easy mistake to make, I suppose. Pretty ridiculous design structure. What do you think, Lupo? He laughs in your direction, begins spattering a bit more of that delicious red goo inside onto the floor.
Well, now I'm gonna get him down.
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You guys can work
for
to get him
sure.
down. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the chains take a little while. There's a whole bunch of them. Of this stuff made in hell. So. But after a matter of moments and no small struggle with the poor young man's health, you can get him down, and you're not going to be able to undo all these chains in any time under an hour. There's too many on them. They're just too intricately tied and knotted in ways that only a
Just
devil.
doesn't need to be hanging up anymore.
Once he's down, it's rested for a moment. He resumed. If I had to guess, they'll want to learn everything they can from that book. Then they'll destroy it along with the Navimas and anyone capable of producing more. I'm not saying they'll have supreme mastery over the Iron Shadow, but in their hands, or in the hands of an archdevil or a god, that type of knowledge probably won't be good for anyone's health. He inhales sharply, gasps for a moment. There's another long pause. He exhales finally. Looks over at you with bleary eyes. Angle. You talk all the time about the perfect shot and moving towards stillness. Well, I gotta tell you, buddy, moving towards stillness really sucks. He looks to Aldebaran, a big old school fighter. Someone tell me what this guy's doing during all this.
Crying
Smoking a
openly.
No,
Just-
nah,
Those
he's,
two things.
are you kidding me? He is like,
Oh,
no
Brad.
way.
Aldebaran, what are you crying for, big man? I'm sure you've seen much worse. Like the doctor said, I'm probably gonna pull through any second, right?
These
He
books
coughs.
are aggravating my allergies.
He coughs and laughs and turns his attention to you. Doc, when I'm gone, please say a prayer for me. He says to him. He turns to Violetta, our acrobat. Take my word for it, sis. This isn't nearly as exciting as it looks. Death comes for us all eventually. There's zero need to rush towards it. Lupo, my old friend, let me get one last drag off that pipe.
Match. Yeah.
Provide.
Yeah.
Takes a long drag, all kinds of smoke. He like
Does
inhales.
it trickle out through the belly hole?
You're not supposed to swallow pipe smoke, but he
And
does.
yet-
But he
This
does.
is cool.
And it goes through his
Ew.
stomach and back out through some of the chain links as well.
Nice, nice.
That's sick.
He smiles. This.
Mellow
smiles
as
and-
fuck. It's adorable.
Drops the pipe out of his mouth. He doesn't have the strength to take it out of his mouth himself. He just lets it go.
I want to watch that.
Fine
movie.
taste. The Lupo fiddle switch original. He says to him. Tarif, you old wrinkly prune of a man. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to the same place as Sadira. But if I do see her, I'll let her know that her daddy is still prattling on. He begins to cough a little bit more. Well, guys, it's not the smartest thing you ever did. But thanks for taking a chance on me, he says. Thanks for being.
He did.
He stops.
Aww.
He stops. A whole moment passes. You keep expecting him to finish what he was saying to you, but he doesn't.
I'll close his eyes and fix his hair a little bit.
As you're doing this,
Good luck.
Tarif, you begin to feel a very odd sensation
Mm-hmm.
in your foot, but not just your normal foot, the mechanical foot
Mhm.
that you have.
Mhm.
You lost a foot
Whoops.
when you were in the city of Jangling Hyder, the third layer of hell, the city of chain devils. In that place, a new foot was forged with the combined efforts of Lupo and Omani. It just stuck right on your bloody
Yeah,
self.
go.
Yeah, we can make whole feet.
That's right.
What is this? This is the like
Yeah, we can make
second
feet.
character I've had with a robot foot.
Nice.
Nice.
Actually, third. Never mind.
Same foot, same foot. Every guy, it's always the left foot.
Yeah.
Anyways, your foot begins to heat up. Feel uncomfortably warm before you have occasion and time to bring anyone else's attention. You all hear footsteps. Something walks through one of the mirrors in this room as you turn your attention away from your buddy Jorvel's dead, lifeless, chained up body. You see a hulking chain devil walk into the room. He seems very happy and exhausted. He's all kinds of cut up and battered and bruised, almost as though he's been through some kind of gauntlet of hazards and traps throughout an infinite library of mirrors. He sees he's back in this room that he presumably was a long time ago. He doesn't appear to be carrying anything, and he is alone. Takes a second to size up the situation. Looks you all up and down. Pretends to disregard you and looks at Jorvel's body. How pathetic, he says to you all. As you all stare at this thing's face, beneath its chain-like mask, you see its features change and shift. Some of the time it appears to be someone you used to know. Other times you can't make out anything. How pathetic, he says. He screamed the entire time we chained him up. He seemed convinced that his friends were coming to rescue him. We politely reminded him that he had no friends. He fake villain laughs in your direction. Certainly he didn't mean you all, the very people he was betraying. He seems content with himself and begins walking towards the real threshold of this room. Now get out of my way. What do you all do?
How many mirrors are there between him and the door?
There's probably about 6 mirrors. There's probably about 16 mirrors in this room.
What if I got some help to maybe push him through a
I will
mirror?
say,
We should push him through the mirror, then break it.
Can't break them.
Can't break him.
Harder to break. Well, can
Yeah, I'll just say it.
you?
You haven't tried.
What?
We were coming to rescue him, you monster. Which is why, and I take the contract from whoever's holding it, we bought his contract.
Ooh.
Which is something you would have known if you did your job right.
Oh, it's an
I'm not very good with paperwork, but I know the basics of it. The deal is always, and he just like bores a hole into your eyes of his own. A soul for a soul. What do?
Yeah,
What
what
do?
are we getting ready to roll for?
I look him right dead in the eyes and just
As you're
sort of
doing
like,
this, you see Sadira. His face changes to that of your daughter.
So
That's just rude.
that makes it easy for me to I say, that's right.
Oh,
Try to use my daughter against me, you monster!
Alright, what do you guys do?
I'm gonna give you an out. Just this once. Before this fuck up that you did gets out. Where's the Navi Mas? Where's the ever-changing order?
I suppose you'd have to ask someone who cares about either. I'm just a lowly grunt. Look at me. Furthermore, I'm alone. You're not scared, are you? He laughs. You're not scared, Daddy. He says.
Oh.
It's a dear voice.
That's creepy.
Alright, I'm firing an arrow at this.
Okay.
So,
Can we
I've had
attempt to
enough.
like get him towards the mirror? Because we know we can't break it. Can we at least push it over?
So
That's what I'm
I-
saying.
Like,
here's what we're gonna
face.
do. You all can decide on a basic course of action, and we're gonna put this down to a singular role. So each of you, if you're gonna do something to contribute to this plan, decide what it is, and we'll decide collectively.
I mean,
What
he doesn't have any of the stuff with him, so if we run the
Just
risk of
want to get rid of
instantly.
him.
That's what, but I mean,
So-
like we run the risk of killing him, then not knowing where it is.
Yeah. You can try to fight him. You can maybe let him just walk away. You can try to push him through a mirror and try to destroy a mirror. There's all kinds of options.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we're even if we do find a way to get rid of him, we have no way of finding what he took already.
You can always just be like, "You're right. You're right."
Just let this one go.
Like you are correct. Let us bring about the suppression of all wills.
Fantastic. Yeah.
We see your wisdom. Yes.
Yeah, it's a great plan. Where are your friends? Our friends. We work for the same
Who's this
people,
guy?
apparently. Now, yes, naturally.
We're in Weedle.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going through the mirrors. He's clearly trying to find something.
He just got out of the mirror and
Yeah,
he's walking
he-
towards the door. He's
For all
just trying to
appearances,
leave,
he
right?
just survived the hellacious gauntlet inside his library. He's
Yeah.
alone, and he just wants to get the fuck out of here. That's the most you can tell from his body language. That he's just trying to get the fuck out of here.
All right, but he doesn't have the book or anything with him.
Nope.
That's alarming.
Yeah. Again, there are no wrong decisions in this game. Just whatever dumb shit you guys decide to do.
I mean, we're D&D players. Pretty sure our option is to
Alright.
fuck him up.
Somebody
So-
kill this demon, please.
So, are there books in this room?
There are so many books in this room. Yes.
Are there like stacks that I might be able to push on top of them, and then somebody who has magic or something light them on fire?
Most of our stacks in this room are against the walls. There's none that are stray.
Yeah, not that kind of magic.
You'd have to lure them near a wall
Can we
and
just
drag one down top.
Stab the guy? Can we just all stab
Yeah.
the guy?
Yeah.
I
he's-
stabbed the guy.
Yeah, he's a chain
I have
monster.
A knife.
Alright.
Bye.
If you guys are all going to go in and try to attack this guy together at the same time,
That's what
I
we're
will need
doing.
a singular roll from one character, and we'll have that be.
you
Were
rolled
you
the
I'm
dice.
the only one who has rolled
I haven't
successfully.
Yeah.
rolled yet.
That's
You
true. You
haven't
haven't
rolled
rolled yet.
What's
Do it.
your-
No,
what's
you have your
your-
own die.
All right,
Wait, do we
well-
have a fighter who can lead this
Yes.
attack?
I will
Can
let
we
you
just
all-
have
yes.
the fighter do that?
I'll let you all decide. We can have the roll be made to decide everything by our fighter, Aldebrand, or we can have Tarif in his rage do it.
Ooh.
Again,
I like the
no-
poeticism.
I do like the
No
poeticism.
wrong decision.
Yep.
I think we're all pretty pissed off though, so I don't necessarily know if it matters either way. Like we're
No,
all.
you
we're
do
all
the
aiming
roll.
to fuck this
I
guy.
Got
believe.
that? You've got the little inspirational dice too.
That's
Yes.
true. It's been
You
10
guys have
minutes.
Yeah. So this will be. Yeah. You can't inspire yourself.
Yeah.
Which is
You
why
can't
I
like read an audiobook like.
Big
"Do
enough
this."
to say that I
That's
can
which is
be
why I would say
about myself.
have the fighter do it, because I
Okay.
think at this point,
Sure.
Tariff, if this person doesn't have any information for me, somebody kill this dude is
Alright.
what Tariff says.
Mhm.
So I'll roll for.
All right, let's
Big
do
man.
this.
Yep. Stand by.
Be the big
This will
boy.
be +8. This is just.
Oh shit.
Let's
Plus
roll
8.
1d20 +8.
And
Does he have
D8.
inspiration?
Does yeah.
Oh, he sure does.
Alright,
You
well,
can make
we
use
will.
it. It's your
Can I
call.
roll it? Can I do it after the roll?
Yes.
It's just-
You're like a, something like you think might be on the line. Yes.
Uh-huh.
You can absolutely use it.
Yeah, we'll
What
do
the
it
fuck is
now.
that?
So 6.
6 + 8.
So 14.
All right. How about
22.
14 plus 8? 22.
So yes, this succeeds. This thing is deceased after several minutes of hellacious combat.
Shit.
6 of you, it is dead. It is gone.
Ooh.
Cool. Which mirror did he come out of? Did anybody pay attention?
You
Is
did.
that-
Why would you ask that second part?
I mean, I'm assuming they all went
I
as
mean,
a group,
na-
right?
but naturally, remember we were kind of like off to the side because we had to go around the corner to see Dorval, so we probably wouldn't have seen, regardless of what mirror
Yeah,
he came
I
out
don't
of.
know
We,
what
didn't,
mirror
we
he
couldn't
came out
see
of.
majority.
You guys don't know which one. The time is now 5:45. We are exactly right on track where we need to be. How in the-
Really?
how
How?
in the hell will one dungeon master make this work?
Is it because we're
Everything wrapped up in 15 minutes when there's so much still to do.
Do
You
they
must
bleed?
be insane.
We're all gonna die.
Do they
You're gonna
bleed?
be just fine. Do they bleed?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Can't we just like try to see a trail of blood where he came out of?
There's
What's
no
all
trail
that?
of blood. Stand by on that thought.
Oh.
So, you pick a direction, left or right.
Right.
Everyone, pick up your character sheet. Pass to the right.
Oh boy.
Ah, nice.
Oh come on.
Quantum sliding.
Slide'ems.
All right, everyone.
Slide on.
You have new dudes. Everyone, roll a d12.
There you go.
Fake.
There you are. Why?
So everyone, roll the d12s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are numbers? 2,
3.
3.
4.
3.
What the fuck, guys?
You 2 3s roll off for me.
All right.
Nailed it.
4.
2.
All right, the 2 deuces. Take these 2 new characters and pass those to me.
Awesome.
Ah.
Yo, older
Oh, can we swap?
Come down.
Nope, you may not.
Oh, not fair. I'm cool with being the acrobat.
You
Nope.
like being, yeah.
Now I get to be all nimble and lithe and what?
Come on.
As
I've
opposed
been a
to
Native
a
American.
centaur.
I've been a ninja. We have the street going.
Exactly,
Centaur
yeah.
time,
Now
what's
you
that?
just get to be just the beefiest boy.
That was my first D&D campaign ever. I was just a fucking absolutely
that was, yeah,
battle-ripped
Soraya.
That's how you do it.
tiefling.
I miss
Beat boy,
my, I
best
miss
boy.
my tank so much.
All right.
I miss my tank.
I was just wrecking shit.
Seems crazy. Seems ridiculous. It's gonna happen. Quote the late, the great, the half-retarded Polonius from Hamlet. When I say 'tis madness, there's method in it. Here's what you're gonna do. Here's what you have to accomplish. You have these chitons in this library of mirrors. They have the 2 components that you guys need to get rid of the Iron Shadow in them. The Navimas and the book, Ever-Changing Order. You have to think of some way to find these guys. Confront them in such a way that you can acquire these 2 things and escape with them. Now, this will be a multi-part thing. I will tell you, we'll we're going to stipulate that there's about a 24-hour time limit on this. You do know if they escape this place, they're going to go back to their home in hell. You do know how to get there, at which point they will consume all knowledge from this book and then destroy it, also the Navi Mas, and it'll be done. So you got about a 24-hour time limit on this. There's a number of things you can do. You can search the stacks for them. You can try to wait outside for them. You don't know if they came in through that portal that you guys came in through or some other means to this plane. There's a lot of unknown information. But each of you will think of something to do to contribute to your overall plan. All right?
Mm-hmm.
When you do this, you will each make a single roll based on the nature of your contribution to the plan. These will be added up and scored against the difficulty check for this task. There will be a modifier for the quality or insanity of your scheme.
Great.
And this will all come down to that roll.
I have a
Now,
terrible
you guys
Dina.
can plot and plan for a couple minutes and then decide. You can ask me any questions you want to ask if you need any clarifications about things. Your plan can be as simple or as complex as you want. However, when you're plotting and planning, I want you to do it only in character. Plotting and planning does not mean, all right, who's got the highest dex? Here's what we're going to do. All right, I've got these 3 widgets. Here's what we're going to do. Give it to me old school. Give it to me in character. When you guys are ready, you're set on a plan, let me know, and we will roll that beautiful beam footage.
Nice.
The results will determine what happened, and now will let us know what goes down.
Got a mad character upgrade here.
Nice.
Oh,
Well, I can control insects.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
um,
Bring it back,
insect
the accent.
spies?
Hey,
Insect spies?
no, there's no insects here, darling.
Why is Viola fucking
Because I decided that's the case.
it's one character in each universe
Yeah.
that has a Scottish accent.
God damn it.
That's fun to do. Can't hate.
You at home, here's the cool sheet that players can't memorize fast enough, but you can.
I did.
Yeah.
Also, I can just do this.
No!
Yes, you can.
Replay the footage.
Metagaming at its finest.
But I won't.
Oh, fuck.
What a
Let's do
G.
this.
Alright.
Okay.
The fuck did I just get? What is this?
Okay.
If we're doing this, then this is my accent now.
Oh,
Lupo for the Switch.
no.
This is the most
This seems terrible.
Yes. And so we'll assume any contributions
What
that
a
there are other 2
terrible
characters.
idea.
Who we have out? Engel, the Arcane Archer.
Angle, you seem
And
to come up
Tarif.
with so many good ideas.
Their things are both going to go off normally.
Okay.
They're not going to tremendously mess things up, and they're not going to exceed
Cool.
expectations.
So here's what I have.
You can depend on them to pull their weight for this.
I get one more unique item that I get to make. And I see a note here that says I know about neon and I have to use that.
Right.
Neon
So I will.
paints.
I
Yep.
saw that and got very excited, and I didn't get the chance to. Really
First
play
idea,
with
I was
it.
going to make a device that would allow me to find chain devils in the library. That sounds really hard, so instead I'm going to make a device that will infuriate chain devils and make it easier for them to find us.
Nice. Keep in mind,
With neon
Tarif's
paint.
It's actually very
mechanical
smart.
foot appears to have some kind of hot-cold detector.
Mm.
Factors.
Ooh.
That thing was
Okay.
made in hell, so it has an affinity to them. How you
Okay.
can use that is up to you.
So here's actually what I'm thinking, is that if they can just never leave the library, that's not really a problem, is it?
We still need
It's a
their
lo-
stuff.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
library of doors.
Yeah, they can just, if they realize
And
or
other
think that they're
books.
stuck there forever, they'll just read the book here.
And do the whole thing?
And just like destroy the shit here.
Oh,
They get
okay.
so frustrated that they can't escape, they'll just destroy it here.
Okay.
So it
Well,
won't be as
that
simple as,
doesn't work.
oh, we'll just put a lock on the door outside.
Haha. No, we
Well, I
burnt the
tried.
shit down.
That's made into metal.
How many do we
Also,
have to
they're from
fight?
hell.
That's true. Notorious.
You
for
don't know
being good
how
at
many
fire.
there are. You just know there are many. Your only clues would be the chaos in the room where Jorvel was tied up. If you had to guess, there are more than 10.
Oh, great.
She's dead.
Huh. I like your idea of getting them all
Oh.
together.
Do we have any? Do we have any? Can you make some sort of explosives?
I could. We do need to get the stuff back. And explosives are usually not conducive.
But
Just
more like
need
a
some more
trap.
yeah.
Our idea of luring them into one spot and then doing as much damage as possible to the most amount of them at one time is probably our best bet. We are viciously outnumbered.
Hey, let's just go with lure them all here and explode them.
Is there a better door we could lead them through?
Let's. What if we trapped them? We know which one they're in. What if we went to a different mirror and lured them there?
Right.
Putting 3 minutes on the clock.
Alright.
That way,
Exciting.
because whichever ones have the books and the stuff, they're not going to come fight. They're going to stay with what they're doing.
It's true. So,
So we just need to lure the other. Well, we should actually take it back. We should do it right in the lobby. We can't put them in a library. They'll just lock us in there.
I'm sorry, are you trying to say the word library?
Library.
Biscotti?
Library.
Library.
So
yes.
we're going to tempt them with biscotti.
I mean, if they're fucking demons, they probably love carbs.
They're devils. All right.
I don't
know how
give a
hard it
shit.
is
They
right
love carbs.
Spaghetti in hell.
The only vegans.
water keeps evaporating. It's really unfortunate.
This is
I
useful
was just
planning
gonna do
time.
that.
Oh,
Yes,
this
thank
is
you.
really useful planning time. You're right. Okay. So we have a that we. Ooh. So do we have a plan?
Wait, how do you do this?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what the fuck is it? I was just like, okay, maybe it's something he needs.
No, I don't need it for this game, but it's in there.
Alright,
Alright.
whatever.
So we lure them out.
We lure them out, we blow them up, we go get the shit we want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Things are rough, Doc.
Yeah.
Depend on times like this.
I mean, I could pray to the gods, but do they really listen to me?
One way to find out.
Can I make a device that could theoretically get one person, or like get us out of this library, like teleporter, something like that?
It would take you like maybe 10 or 12 hours to do.
We do have 24.
Yeah. Omani, yeah, that's the thing you could do. If you wanted to pray for the gods, we would make that a roll later.
Yeah.
It's up to you. Put it back in your mind. So, nothing is off
I'll
limits.
hold on to that.
Yeah.
We're not on speaking terms at the moment.
I know. But yes, well, to answer your question, you could make something that could teleport someone out of here.
So we just need to.
But it would be only one person, and it would cause immense nausea
Mm.
to the point that they couldn't function properly for probably about a day.
Huh.
And it would only transport one person. Which
We
means
just
that
need
they
someone
would be
to get the fuck out
then
of
You
they
got
would be
33
incapacitated.
seconds to give me a plan.
I've got 5 minutes. I don't know what clock y'all are using.
I put 3 minutes on the clock.
I have, it's 5:55.
Oh, no.
Oh,
We
no,
have
I
to
gave
come
you
up
guys
with
a
a plan
3
and then
minute time.
execute
Oh, okay.
it.
Alright,
20 seconds.
So
Alright.
make the teleporter,
Yep.
pray.
Get the book.
I'm a fighter. I can fuck shit up. Like, what do you want from me?
No, don't worry about fucking shit up. Get the book, get the Navimas, and get
Yeah.
out.
You go get the book, the Navimas, I'll go with you and help scout.
Alright,
Alright.
fair enough.
Cool, got there.
All right, barely. Whoa, yeah, right on time. All right, so here's what we're Here's what we're gonna do. Here's how we're gonna roll. Lupo, you have your choice to roll for your crafting of this thing. Either your intelligence or your dexterity. Intelligence for the nature of the device you're creating, or dexterity for the sheer craftsmanship of this bad boy. They're both fine choices. I'll let you decide, but let me know which one you're rolling before you do roll it. Aldebrand, seizing these two items will require some amount of you fucking shit up. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna hand it to
probably.
you.
Just
I
truck
do
it
need
in.
you to make an attack roll.
Okay.
Violetta, you're going ahead to
That's
scout
fine.
things out, to help line up a good plan of attack, to set Aldebrand up for speed, surprise, and violence of action. You can use investigation, or you can use stealth. I'll let you decide which of those two you would like to roll. Omani, good doctor. You don't got to roll pray. You don't got to press F7 here to pay any respects. Just make a blanket wisdom throw.
Alright.
All right. Does anyone know what it is they're gonna roll?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're gonna stop. I'm sorry. We're gonna start from Will and go around this way. So Will,
All right.
what are you rolling for us?
Gonna roll some dexterity. I think that's the more pressing issue here.
All right. Give us the goods.
1 second. There we go.
Can we do this one now?
Bam!
Damn.
24.
Nice.
Very nice.
not bad. Aldebaran.
I just rolled, but I'll try again.
Watch it up.
Yeah, that's not great.
Yes.
16. Should have kept my first roll. I just did it just now, thinking, oh, we're supposed to do what everyone else decided this shit.
You're right. You did think that. But it was
Shame
just
on me.
right. Violetta.
Yeah.
Oh!
20.
Sorry, I yelled very loud again. It's very
Yep.
exciting
So,
shit.
16.
stand by. What's your total?
My total, I used stealth, so my total is 24.
24. Fantastic. Yeah, so in normal ability checks, 20s are great. They're not critical successes. That's all.
That's still fun.
It's still fun.
That's the highest number on the dice. I don't know what you
Yeah,
want.
like, that was a 1 in 20 shot of getting perfection.
If you land that thing on a tilt, the 20 and the 1, I counted as a 21. So.
Actually, I did that. I had a one-sided die once, but it fell wrong. I never saw it again.
This happens.
So, yeah.
Anyway,
All right, the good doctor. Let's
All
see
right.
the guy's answer.
it says
Very nice.
13.
Alright, 13
Yeah, 13.
plus 4, so I got 17.
The DC for prayer was 18. He's doing notes.
How do the gods finally listen to me?
I can't believe that this rig works that well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't think of that
actually
before.
worked really, yeah.
He's drawing a picture of a stick man right now.
Is it our corpses all
All right.
on the floor?
So describe to us the intention of your portal device. How did you expect this thing to go off?
So, I'm thinking of it as a gun that I can shoot one person and essentially banish them to the Planeswalker Tavern.
Mhm.
And since I rolled dexterity, that was mostly me just like lining it up while Aldebaran was just like whooping ass and trying to like stiff arm to get the stuff he needs.
Alright. So your plan was to hopefully hit Aldebaran with it,
Yeah.
assuming you got the stuff.
hmm
Violetta, describe to us what it was that you scouted that helped lead to Aldebaran's plan of attack.
Basically, I was trying to, catch them sort of unawares in a place where they're, trying to rest or what have you. Find the one that actually has the book and the Navimas. Get them sort of, perhaps lure them away from the rest.
Hmm?
And basically just line everything up so that Aldebaran can, get in there and start beating people up and get the stuff.
Sounds good. Sounds very wise. I like it. Aldebaran, could you briefly describe to us how it is you did your job?
Waiting for Violetta to come back and let me know exactly what I'm going to be looking at, trying to strategize a game plan. If they're asleep, really just kind of like capture the flag, like just run, haul some ass, and try to get as fast as possible. Which one has it?
Smart.
Make that the goal. Like
Not
it
wasting-
really is just
Not
as,
wasting any time. I
as
like
straight
it.
as possible.
Very conservative bet. I like it. Omani, we have not spoken with your gods in a very, very long time. Is there anything specific you said to them? You can tell specifically, or you can give us a very general, broad idea. It's up to you.
We've been doing a lot of letting each other down over the years. I lost a lot of my faith, and it has not come off. I want to go back to the good that they once saw in me. So I'm going to focus my efforts on protecting, and ask for their protection to like protect our fighter as he gets the Navimas in the book.
Very selfless. You weren't bitter about it. You didn't try to implore them or guilt trip them.
Got one last haul, man.
And that's all. So, I'll briefly tell you guys the numbers here. Do a little metagaming real quick. The difficulty of this task was hard. 4 player characters. The DC is an 80 and 80. The modifier I gave you guys for your plan was moderate. That means there's no plus, no minus to it. It just seemed pretty normal, pretty reasonable. Nothing wacky, nothing suicidal. The total that you guys rolled, 16, 24, 24, and 17.
This is at 81.
It's 81.
Oh Jesus! Skin of our teeth.
Yeah! So,
This seems like the kind of shit that we usually get up to, actually.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have worked, but it did.
Yeah.
but it has.
Sick.
So,
Dope.
in short order, you're able to do this. Retrieve the Navi Mas, retrieve the book. Aldebaran is very nauseous with the Planewalkers Guild. You guys are able to beat a retreat after a hasty escape. Drovel in tow, yes or no?
Did you guys grab his body? Or
Yeah,
did
I-
you leave it there?
It's up to you. There's no right
I'm
or
not
wrong.
given to sentiment.
I'm just not looking at it being realistic. Is the only reason
Yeah.
that I say that.
Are there still a bunch of devils?
Oh, yeah.
Jason?
They-
Oh,
they're-
bye.
they're aware
Bye,
people there.
Joel. We were good
Yeah.
friends, but I gotta get.
Yeah, I happened to get a hold of the book of the Navi Mas, then disappeared, and they all turned their attention to you guys.
Gotcha.
I highly doubt
So,
you fucking got the body.
You're able to safely get back to the infinite staircase. Turn these items over to the guardians of the infinite staircase. The work to get rid of the Iron Shadow begins. Slowly at first, but building, growing, eventually, the splendor of life returns in the wake of the Iron Shadow. Music, storytelling, heroic bravado, cunning diplomacy, crafting, and laughter are restored throughout the infinite planes of existence. For your hard work, for your endeavors, for your many losses, triumphs. The Guardians of the Infinite Staircase give you all a single silver ring. Contains one wish spell. The wish is the most powerful spell in D&D. Doesn't do everything. Doesn't undo the Iron Shadow. If it could, they would have never bothered you guys. It's limited ability. You all can decide as a group what it is you all like to do with this single wish spell, or we can leave it up to everyone's imagination.
I like that second option.
Yep. All right. And so concludes
Theme
the 8th
phase.
part, 7-group campaign, Tales from the Infinite
Yo.
Staircase. Thank you all very much for playing.
Thank
Well, honored,
you.
man.
I've got stickers for you guys.
He does have stickers.
These stickers, I'm highly motivated by stickers.
Made it by
I
two.
feel like, though, of all the parties, I feel like we did the
man.
least.
I mean, we had a it was crunch time. It was put up
It
to
was,
You had made
yeah.
it by 2, so you know what?
We did. Scraped by.
Yep.
Scraped by.
And despite my best efforts,
Oh, that's
so,
cool.
You all may choose one of these two designs, Classic Rainbow or Funkadelic.
Well, you know I gotta go that classic rainbow.
Yeah, everybody loves
Dare to be
rainbows.
different.
Everybody's
Nice.
gotta.
step up your game, all others.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
Yes, the optimal
This
use
is
of these
dope.
stickers
Planewalkers
is to
Guild.
put them over smaller, lesser stickers.
I was thinking about making some in case of emergency stickers and just putting them on random glass objects that I find.
Yeah,
I'll put
I'm
this on
here
my
for this
car.
sort of
I
chaotic
think I'm
plan.
gonna put this on a
Yeah.
magnet and put it on my car.
And
Yeah.
one final thing, like a photograph of everyone's hand on a cool D20 over the cover of the book. Every single group heretofore has done this,
So what we're doing?
taking a D20. Where's my D20? I
So,
stole it. Good
this
job.
die-
Yeah, I was like, I
That
just
die
stole yours.
Carried us to victory I've had since I started playing D&D.
Yes,
It
you're gonna
rolls
hold it
1s and 20s.
over this broad.
I have a D8.
There you go, there you go buddy.
There we go.
There you go.
Beauteous. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Game.
you. This is fun. Whew.
We did it, y'all.
You done? You
Your
done
weeks and
good.
weeks of toil were not in vain.
Yes.
And despite my best efforts to kill all but one of the party, it didn't happen.
Yes.
Oh God.
You did try.
I did.
I noticed that.
I'll be like, what is
Yeah.
most dramatic?
That was the thing I planned for. If a player character died at any time in this whole campaign, I had a couple other things for some NPCs who could join the game, or it might just be, well,
This person's just dead now.
or it's a 5-player game now.
Yeah.
Gonna play a Modron. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, stream. That was Tales from the Infinite Staircase. Thank you so much for dropping in. We
Drop
are
out.
out of here.
It's been
Stay in
real.
school.